Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we'll start by our Pledge of Allegiance and Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, as we go through the holidays, we ask that you fill us with your light and your love. Give us joy in a spirit of gratitude and generosity so that we may truly be blessing to others. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Item 3. 14. Are they here?
No, not here. We'll come back to agenda number 2.
Okay. Item 4 is the report from the Chamber of Commerce. Is anybody from the Chamber here? Here we go. Thank you.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. On Friday, December 9th, the Chamber hosted a Coffee Connections networking event at Jitters Coffee. We had a great turnout and many first-time attenders. We look forward to next month's event. This year, our Chamber's ambassador program, the Team Go Mission, has decided to host our first annual holiday food drive. We will be partnering up with the Mission Food Bank in their efforts to feed over 1,000 individuals in this month of December. Please visit our Facebook event page to see the list of drop-off locations. The 22nd Annual Mission Community Health Fair will be held on Sunday, January 15th, 2017 at the Sherryland High School Gymnasium, located at 1106 North Sherry Road in Mission at 7:30 a.m. This event is geared towards increasing awareness of healthy living to the residents of the greater Mission area. The laboratory team from Mission Regional Medical Center will be providing master blood tests. Free screenings including the following: cholesterol, blood pressure, vision, body mass index, and much more. There are still sponsorships and booth spaces available. Please contact the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce for more information. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Department report, it's in your packet, and if you all have any questions on the reports, don't hesitate to ask.
Mayor, if there's no questions, I'd like to move that we approve the department reports as presented in writing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our department reports. They're in your packet. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Citizens' participation, do we have anybody from the audience that would like to address the council?
Mayor and City Council,
Good to
I'm
see you.
happy to be here. I have a surprise. 6 years ago, we put the mayor out on a bench in front of City Hall, and our darling mayor didn't want that to happen.
The what?
Your sculpture out in front.
Oh, okay.
You didn't want that to happen,
I know, but it's
but
happening.
we did it anyway.
Yes.
So-
I remember.
Okay, you remember? Okay, well, we have a little maquette that we started from right at the beginning, and we'd like to have you to have it. After 6 years at the Upper Valley Art League, I think it's your turn to board it. Would you, Danny, unveil it for you.
What are you doing?
So is that not cute? That's just like the one out in front, only it's a miniature size.
Oh, you got that one, eh?
Yes. That's for you, Mayor. You board it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now that's not all. The city of Mission is having butterflies popping up all over. So we thought the mayor should have one for his office. Would you open that?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. We appreciate you.
Well,
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Board. How are y'all doing today?
Fine.
My name is Lorenzo Garza. I'm a member of the Mission Rotary Club here. We meet at noon at Molca's. We're here with our international student from Belgium, Maxime Rodriguez. He'll be with us for a year. I've entertained him for the last 2 weeks. Dr. Ocaña had the pleasure of meeting him over at the Our Lady of Guadalupe Jamaica. Miss Jessica Ortega, had the pleasure of meeting him over at the Mission Veterans playoff football game against Flower Bluff. Mr. Ruben Plata has had the pleasure of meeting him over in San Antonio when he traveled with another Rotarian, and I just wanted to introduce him to the board and to the city and let him know what it is like to embrace this.
Well, welcome to Mission.
Most
Welcome.
definitely. Thank you.
Thank you very much to inviting me here.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mayor, I'm here, normally, everybody knows me as representing a company, but this time I'm being here as a citizen. I want to represent one of your employees. You know, I had a dilemma that it escalated to his level, or maybe a little bit higher, and he had no idea what I was going through, besides my work schedule, family problems, things like that. I was going through some real high, basically like a time bomb. Your blood pressure 180 over 160. This gentleman got to evaluate the situation, but not also by my well-being. I get a phone call one morning. I was heading down to San Antonio, and he goes, "I've just called to see how you're doing, because you didn't look too good last night." You know, it surprised me. When does an employee, we're normally calling the city to complain, we're normally calling the city for any other thing that we do, but we never recognize an employee. And I would like to recognize Ernie Zapata right here. This gentleman, you know, it surprised me, because normally we always good to coach for something that they're doing wrong, but we never coach for success. And this gentleman actually went the extra mile to know, you know, caring about the well-being of an individual.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else who would like to address the council? Next item.
There's someone in the back.
Hmm?
Someone's waving their hand over there. I don't know if it's...
He just wants to make sure that he's here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
One of our citizens from the northwest part of town, Mayor.
Okay. On our public hearings, we'll ask Mr. Perez to start with item 1.1A.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Item 1.1A is the rezoning. It's a public hearing for a rezoning of 0.348 acre tract land out of Meadow Creek Country Club, Phase 1A subdivision. PUD AOP to R1T is the proposed rezoning. The applicant is Alguer Bauza, and is an adoption of the ordinance if the council is inclined. On December the 14th, 2016, Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider this rezoning request. The subject site is located at the southeast corner of J.C. Parkway and Lakeview Drive. There was public opposition during the P&Z meeting. The concerns voiced were the devaluation of their property values, inconsistency land use, created additional traffic, and that the townhouse would abut the golf course. The board, the Planning and Zoning Board unanimously recommended approval of the R1T zone. This is the land use reflects the zoning on the future land use map, reflects the PUD land use when viewing townhome residential zones on the south, and the proposed R1T is consistent with the surrounding land use map. This was a reduction of lots. Previously, they were proposing 11 lots, and now they're proposing 7 lots. And this is the item. This item is now before you. This is a public hearing.
Anybody in favor or against this request? Anybody in favor or against this request?
Victor Trevino, 900 South Story Road, represent Mr. Bauza. We're in favor, and we just wanted to clarify that we took away 8,000 square feet of the first proposal to this one.
You're doing 7 lots?
Yes.
You were proposing 11, right?
Yeah, and now we're proposing 7.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else?
My name is Joe Peretta. I live at 1200 Lakeview Drive. My same concerns that I issued or brought up before, is right at the corner there at J.C. Parkway. There's a lift station. The stench from the sewer is so bad, you have to hold your breath when you go by there. And adding this kind of density, that's not bad. There are 7 units, but they're talking about more units down the other way, and I'm just wondering if your infrastructure is ready for that many more units. And again, I bought down here. I became a Mission resident 2 years ago, and I came down here for the golf course.
I guarantee you we'll take care of the problem on the sewer plant tomorrow.
Pardon me?
We'll take care of the sewer problem tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll make sure that it gets done. I think I already told him once, the last time we had a meeting here, and I related the concern, and it's still there, but I'll make sure, maybe I have to go myself.
And then the other issue that I would bring up is there's some pretty nice houses for the area around there. And when you're bringing in townhouses, that's going to lower the value.
Well, some people don't want apartments, and now you're saying that it's going to lower the value if you bring townhouses. So I don't know.
Well, do you think my question to you think townhouses are going to up the value of our property? You don't think it's going to bring it down?
Well, we have a developer doing about 80 of them at one time.
And
Right
then
now.
the value of the houses in that area are going to drop, so you're going to have to reassess the houses and the property tax on those houses, because they've dropped from $10,000 to $15,000 just since I bought. And then the other issue I'd have is the setbacks, so that vehicles would get off the road. Because one of the houses that was approved by hole number 13 that somebody just moved into, and they've got a Ford pickup. The Ford pickup's pulled all the way up to the garage doors, and 3 foot of the truck is hanging out in the road. And the setback issue and the value of the property would be my concerns.
We'll look into it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Anybody else that would like to check on the 7 lots that we have?
My name is Mike Crawford, and I just built a new house on Meadowview Drive, and I invested a considerable amount of money because I wanted that house on a golf course. Now you're talking about putting in these apartments. Has any of you went out there and looked at the traffic in front of that school in the mornings and afternoon? Anybody?
Inside the...
Outside the golf course, on the street, on 1 mile south road.
Yes, but that's why we did not approve the...
Exactly.
Yes.
But the city can't even take care of the potholes. I called the city 3 to 4 times in the last 2 months, and I talked to the supervisor, and he said, well, we just got to fill them in. We don't have the right equipment to do it correctly.
You're going to have to call me then.
What's that?
You're going to have to call me, and we'll take care of it.
Well, that's what I always hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just borrowing your chair. I'm Jim Ellingson. I live on Lakefront, which is just down the road from this. I guess I don't have a problem with the lots if these twin homes are sold. But I do have a problem if they're going to be rentals, because we have enough problems with rentals down the street from me and over on 10. And I hate to see the golf course get filled up with rental properties. Now, if you can put a restriction on them that it has to be, these twin homes have to be sold and not rented, I think you might get a little farther with this. But as rentals, everybody in here knows what happens with rentals. They're not kept up like if somebody owns it. So,
what are you all going to do there? Are you going to rent the homes, or are you going to sell the lots and let people build?
Are they selling lots, or are they going to build?
The idea is to build and lease.
Rent them. See, that's where I have a problem. You're talking about rentals.
Basically, they're being built so that they can sell them.
Yeah, well, that ain't what's going to happen. We got one down the street. Yeah, they come in and say they're going to sell it. The prices are damn high. Nobody in the park, they laugh at it because there's no way they're going to sell it for that price.
Okay, we'll look into it.
So
And,
you should put,
We'll encourage them to go ahead and
well, that
see if
ain't
they
good
can...
enough.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Put a restriction on, they have to sell them.
I cannot do that. It's
Well,
not
here's the
a...
other thing. Okay, you're talking about taking care of these things. Now, they've owned the park for a year. It's worse now than it was a year ago. Has anybody on this council been out to that park? Have you been out and drove around?
Yes.
Some places, it looks like a desert because there's no grass growing.
Who owns the park? Yeah, but see, we have no...
Listen, they've had the
Huh?
health department out there to clean up stuff this
It's
summer.
not a park.
It's a golf course.
Okay.
And they
Well,
all own property. You're talking about thousands of dollars around that golf course and lots of taxes, and I pay a ton.
well, the guy that bought that pays a lot more. You know, he bought a bunch of property there. He's paying a lot of
I'm
taxes.
trying to preserve it. I'm not sure what they're trying to do there.
They're
I don't
trying to
know if they're
preserve it.
trying
I
to
mean, they bought
protect
the golf
course.
course. They bought the golf course, they paid a pretty penny for it. So, we just want them to go ahead and see if they can improve the golf course.
Well, we're still waiting. It's going the other way. That's what concerns us. And now you're
Well.
talking about these, and I know darn well they'll be all rented out. It's just going to keep bringing the values down.
Well,
And most of these people out here got a lot of money tied up in the housing around that golf course.
I
I think
agree.
you should be concerned, because if this thing goes south, there's going to be a lot of people losing a lot of money on that golf course. That's
Well,
our biggest concern, the people on that golf course.
I'm sure he doesn't want anybody to lose any money, because he doesn't want to lose any money either. So I think what the best thing you all can do there is work together and see if they can improve it. We'll do everything we can in what's our responsibility is, and we're trying
There's no
to
way you can put any kind of restrictions on those lots.
No. It's got to be himself. We'll talk to him about it.
Unless,
Okay, anybody else? Give us a video.
Council,
Can you have some restrictions on those houses?
we're gonna build them, and the idea here is Mr. Bausa, yes or no? Not sí or no. The idea, Mr. Bausa has spent over $300,000 in the past 8 months already.
Yes.
Okay, on the golf course. $300,000. He's already done some improvements to the clubhouse. He's looking to continue to doing improvements to the golf course, not a park, golf course, his golf course, who, of course, he's being a good neighbor with everybody and trying to make sure that he provides the right greens for everybody, right? So as long as he can continue to do this kind of stuff so that he can build up the golf course and make it look good. The golf course, as we all know, okay, has been going downhill for a long time. Mr. Bausa just came in 8 months ago. He's making the improvements that need to be made, not only to the golf course, but to the clubhouse and to everything else around there.
Talk to Alex, maybe he can help you with it.
Yes, sir.
Alex Mead, with Economic Development.
We'll do that. Thank
Okay.
you.
My name is Cuauhtemoc Roldan, and I live on Crystal Drive, and I just wanted to highlight a few points. I know I've spoken before. You're probably tired of seeing me. I'm tired of speaking, to be honest. But I want to tell you that the Zoning and Planning Committee put a lot of emphasis on the fact that the developers or the applicant reached out and met with residents, yet I can't find a single resident who met with them. The Zoning Committee put a lot of emphasis on that fact, and they said the applicant, in good faith, was meeting with people and finding out what our position was, yet I don't know of anybody who has met with the applicant. And a show of hands for people who are here for this issue on Meadow Creek, I would like to know how many of us are here. Okay, that's quite a few. Okay, that was my first point. The second point is that none of this development that's proposed, that's going to take place, falls under the purview of the existing HOA. Our HOA was designed to cover this whole area, but I realize when you guys make a zoning change, in no way is that going to be development that is governed or overseen by the existing HOA, which means that it doesn't have to comply with anything that the HOA has, any of our setbacks, any of our rules, our common plan and scheme. This construction can be and probably will be wholly inconsistent with what exists there now. And as has been stated before, this is a substantial investment on every one of us, in our own properties, in our homes, in our families. I mean, I don't have big investments all over the place. My house, my family, that is my investment, and I'm asking you, as the elected leaders, to step up and protect us. Protect our home values.
What the HOA needs to do is to approach the owner of the 7 lots and see if you can bring them into the HOAs.
With all due respect, I feel like all of this can be handled easily by denying the application. Thank you.
My name is Patty. I also live on Crystal, and I know y'all are tired of hearing me. But I just wanted to let you guys know that a group of us spent pretty much most of the day Saturday canvassing the neighborhood and getting signatures and emails and everything to get people at this meeting. Mr. Mayor, this is not the first time y'all have dealt with this issue. The only thing, you guys are going to do what you're going to do. But my only question to you in particular, because I'm not sure who else was on the board at that time, is when the previous owners were wanting to do this exact thing, you said no. You said no. And that's my question to you. What has changed? It's the same development. It's a golf course. I understand, and I'm happy that they're attempting to improve the golf course, but that's not an improvement. Improve the golf course by fixing the fairways, getting all the cow pasture out of there the way it used to be before it was nice. That's the way. Invest in the golf course. And what I told every single person I talked to on Saturday told me, or I told them and we discussed it, because some people have lived there a long time, like I have, and they said, back in the day, in 2000, up until about maybe 7 years ago, yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me when I was there.
Oh.
You used to have to call in 2 days ahead to play on the golf course. You could not go show up on a Saturday morning and get a tee-off time. You couldn't. Now, the whole afternoon, I saw maybe 3 or 4 groups playing golf, and there's a reason for that, because the improvements are not there. They've invested $300,000. I don't know what it takes to run a golf course, but if you don't know what it takes, you shouldn't do it. What I do know is this matters to us, and you guys are our only line of defense. You're assuming a lot that they're going to be willing to follow our rules. They're not following the rules right now about what used to be allowed or not on those areas. I have a lot of signatures. It doesn't matter because y'all, again, you're going to do what you need to do, but expecting approval and then having a retro, oh yes, they'll come up to us and say, but we're not going to do this. They've already told you they're going to lease that. They're not interested in selling it. They're going to lease it to make money off the golf course that they're not making off of the golf course.
Yes.
And it's not just, and it's not what the residents there want. And I wish that there was a way for us to convince you of that, and you were convinced of that 7 years ago. You were on our side. You were very strongly opposed to them adding all those lots that they already did. And I wish...
Well, I've been dealing with Better Creek since 1982, 84, since they built it, They had no drainage.
Yeah.
And I was a county commissioner then, and I ended up with a whole problem. So I know about Better Creek.
Yeah.
And, what's happening here now is nothing compared to what we used to have before. It was flooding all the time, and a lot of people had paid a lot of money for their lots. And finally, we got it going for about the last 3 or 4 or 5 owners. It's gone broke about 3 or 4 times, or maybe more than that.
Well, the last one was
1982,
the
now it's about 35
15,
years
16
ago.
years, yeah.
So it's never made any money. It's always been in problems.
It's a good golf course, though. It's a good golf course. The only thing that we're debating is why the need to put lots right there and put rental townhomes there.
Because he bought the property and they sold it to him, and it went out very cheap. He bought the property at a very good price.
But so did the previous owner when you said no to him wanting to do that.
I know.
So my question to you, again, is what changed?
Nothing
you like
changed.
these owners better than the previous owners?
The majority changed. And
majority of what?
The majority of the people that are here in the planning and zoning is recommend us to approve the 7 lots. He wanted 11. We cut him down to 7.
It's not a compromise if we're the ones paying the price every time.
Well, the thing is that he's going to have to come and meet with you halfway and see if they can sell those houses so they can sell them to people
Yeah, but
and
there's no
join the
motivation.
HOAs.
There's no motivation for them to do that at all, because you're giving them approval. It's not even wink, wink
He
approval.
owns
It's
the
like, go ahead, do what
property,
you want.
he owns the property, and he's got the right to develop it and to...
But he
he's
doesn't
given
have
up-
the right to affect all of our
No, he's...
property
I
values.
don't, if that would be happening, I would not let it happen. I think he's got it down to 7
What was
lots.
different 7 years ago when you said no? Nothing was different.
We cut
Different
him down
owners.
to 7 lots. I think he gave up 3 lots.
Again, what's the difference 7 years ago when you said no to the same issue?
I know.
And
there's
we
only-
thought it was done,
and there's
but
only
every
so
time
much
it
no's
comes
that I
up.
can do by myself.
You have 100 no's
But
right
no,
here.
but the 4 people here that vote,
Yeah,
besides me,
yeah.
and...
But you have a lot
we
of
didn't have the
influence.
majority then.
You have a lot of influence on what other people think.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Well,
Thank you.
we only have
Your
3 minutes, and we already took about
That's your
10.
opinion.
So anybody else that would like to address this council concerning the
Influence.
7 lots? Okay, the recommendation from planning and zoning is to approve the 7 lots. What's the wishes of the council?
Mayor, I just want to, we're not approving the 7 lots. What we're approving today is the rezoning.
The rezoning, but it's,
Right.
you know, it's...
But we, to me, the owner has gone beyond what's expected of him at today's meeting by being upfront and being transparent and letting the neighborhood know that there's going to be 7 lots. He didn't have to do that today, but I think that they're doing that in good faith, and that's my opinion. So, but today, what we're doing is only rezoning the property in question to
what
the
is it?
R1T.
R1C.
T.
R1T.
R1T.
R1T, which is townhouses?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's the, which,
Up there that basically clarifies exactly what the open parking space is.
okay, what's the wish of the council?
Can we have the staff read the note, Mayor, please?
Staff?
Yes, on the screen, you'll see the Area V, which is the Agriculture Permanent Open Space District. Area 5, or V, is denoted by the color green on the attached area map and consists of approximately 130 acres. This area includes the golf course, landscape areas set aside for drainage, and areas that may be utilized later for residents. At the time the residential lots are to be formed, the owner of record must comply with the appropriate subdivision and zoning ordinances and return to the planning and zoning with the plat of the additional lots.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, I move for approval of the rezoning request as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go ahead and approve the rezoning and also adopt ordinance 4438. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yes, motion carries. Item B,
Yes, sir. Item B is public hearing also rezoning the eastern 5 acres of Lot 4, Mrs. E.V. Flores subdivision out of Porcion 52 AOI to...
You want to give them a second? Thank you. After D. Yes, I want to let them finish the public hearing, only because there's people waiting.
okay.
Okay, item 1.1B is the rezoning of the eastern 5 acre of Lot 4, Mrs. E.V. Flores subdivision out of Porcion 52 from AOI to C3, the applicants Eileen Davis, and the adoption of the ordinance, the council's inclined. On December 14th, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider the rezoning request. The property is located approximately 1,320 feet west of Inspiration Road along the south side of Business 83. There was no public opposition during the P and Z meeting. The board unanimously recommended approval of the C3 zone. The site was previously leased to Halliburton for overflow parking, and the owner now wishes to rezone the property to C3 general commercial. The future land use map and the surrounding land use zones are consistent with the applicant's zoning request. Staff recommendation is approval. This is a public hearing, and this item is now before you.
Anybody in favor or against this request?
My name is Neil Davis, 500 Wichita, McAllen. I speak for the owner. I'm requesting this change on the property.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Anybody in favor or against this request? If not, we'll go ahead and act on the recommendation of planning and zoning.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go ahead and approve the rezoning and also adoption of ordinance 4439. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Item C.
Item 1.1C is a public hearing for a conditional use permit for a drive-through service window Squinkles Snackland Number 2 located at 3009 North Inspiration Road, Lot C1, Charles Estates Number 3 subdivisions. It's C3, the applicant's Maria Elma Torres, and it is required adoption of the ordinance. On December 14, 2016, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider the conditional use permit request. The area is 1,250 square feet, business located on the northwest corner of Inspiration and Giselle Street. There was no public opposition during the P&Z meeting. The board unanimously recommends approval for 3 years. This location has been in operation for 1 year, and the staff is recommending approval as well. This is a public hearing. This item is now before you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor or in opposition of this item? Anyone here to speak in favor or in opposition? There being none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 4440.
Second.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to accept the recommendation and approve the conditional use permit and also adopt ordinance number 4440. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. And one
I'll abstain.
One abstention. Yes. Okay.
Item D.
1.1D is a public hearing for a conditional use permit to place a 12-foot by 25-foot portable building for office use at 1501 Industrial Way, Lot 3, Mission Business Park subdivision, I-1. The applicant is Roel Ruiz Villarreal, and it does require adoption of an ordinance. On December 14, 2016, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider this conditional use permit request. This property is located in the southwest corner of Los Avanos and Industrial Way, and there was no public opposition during the P&Z meeting. The board unanimously recommended approval for 1 year. Staff is recommending approval subject to the 1 year approval in order to assess the new business, must comply with building, fire, and health codes, must comply with the landscaping and lighting requirements, and the building must be skirted and must acquire the business license. This is a public hearing, and this item is now before you.
Anybody in favor or against this request? Anybody in favor or against? If not, would ask that we go ahead and accept the recommendation from planning and zoning and staff.
I move we approve ordinance 441, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and second to go ahead and approve the conditional use permit and also approve ordinance 4441. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. We are going to go now to item 3, recognizing a Veterans Memorial Patriot football team with the by-district and area champions. Congratulations, guys.
Mayor and Council, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to talk about a team that all the City of Mission has been talking about for the past couple of weeks, and this is a recognition on behalf of the Mayor and the Council. This is a team that one poll ranked this team number one in the Valley very early in the season, and let me tell you, they weren't wrong about that. This team worked hard and focused on the defensive skills, but more important, they had great attitude and great character. They were not quitters, and when the games got tough, the players even got tougher. They believed in themselves and their abilities, and they worked together as a team, and that was their number one strategy and their number one defense, is working as a team. But before we introduce a plaque to them on behalf of the mayor and the council, I'd like to see if Dr.
Lopez, right there.
Lopez is here. There you go. If Mr. Lopez can come up with me, and I know we have
Coach.
a school board
Girl
member with
player.
us. Ms. Petra Ramirez, if you can come up here with me as well. I'd like to introduce the head coach, and the head coach is no stranger to the city of Mission. Coach Gilpin David Gilpin has 27 years of experience with the Mission Consolidated Independent School District. He's been at Veterans since it opened, and that's about 15 years ago. The last 8 years, he served as the head football coach. He's worked hard with his student and has raised the standards for this school and has earned them a 4 by-district championship, a 1 area championship, and a 1 district championship. This is something that Coach Gilpin couldn't do by himself. Of course, the entire professional staff of Veterans have worked hard to create a football legacy for veterans, while at the same time teaching kids about building leadership, character, and winning attitude. So on behalf of Mayor Salinas and our entire city council, we'd like to recognize and present an award to the Veterans Memorial High School football team. But before we do that, I'd like Coach Gilpin to come up here and say a few words and introduce his team. Coach, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Garza. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to our city council. It was exciting for us as a program to be recognized.
Coach, I really don't think you need a mic.
Okay.
Speak here, but I want to say thank you. You know, I've been in this city 27 years. I had to laugh when you say no stranger to the city. My family's been here almost 40 years now. We're committed to this community, to our city council, to our mayor, and the appreciation that I have to all of you for this moment to walk in. It's like I told our kids, this is our city. This is our mayor recognizing us. We were recognized by our school board. I said, do you guys realize the impact that you're having? And so, Mr. Garza said it. This could not be done without an entire staff, an entire group of kids, about 225 strong with our kids and our coaching staff, and everybody put their blood, sweat, and tears into what we did this year. And it was history for us. It's something we've never done. We've been here 15 years. There were 8 teams left after we got knocked out of the playoffs after Thanksgiving. We got to play on Thanksgiving weekend. While everybody else is, going into basketball, into soccer and their next sport, we were still playing football. And so it was an exciting year for us. I'm very blessed to be a part of a great staff there, great administration. Thank y'all for being here, Dr. Lopez, Ms. Ramirez. But more than anything, thank you to our football team, to these boys. As Mr. Garza said, I'm just going to introduce you to the 2016 Mission Veterans Memorial Patriot football team.
Y'all want to come down?
I think, let's fill them in first.
Let's fill them in?
Yeah,
Okay,
fill
we're
them in
going to fill you all up
here.
all over here. We're going to be looking there.
Never been here, Dee.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Great job.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Congratulations, man. We're very proud of you all. Congratulations. We're very proud. Thank you for being our ambassador. Thank you for being our ambassador. Congratulations. Thank you for your representing mission out there. Thank you. Good job. Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're not going to see any of you guys.
Okay.
So we go to the front?
You want to come here?
Do you want us, Bob?
Yeah, up
Okay.
front.
Let's go down there, Mayor.
We could climb up here.
It's a real question. No, if it's
Because he got lost. He doesn't get it. John. Okay, now they can't see me for shit. I know, switch. Switch to Artie. There you go. No. Subs. The subs come. I love it.
Gio, I want to be next.
Oh.
Should I? No, I think I'm fine here. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Patriots. Is he gonna be me every time I get to the
This guy even say something. Say something. Puro ves.
Hey, I'm gonna say
Say something.
Woo.
Hi, Jesse. Are y'all leaving already? I want a picture with you guys.
Say something. Huh? Say something. Love you. Love you guys.
Be good, okay? Keep up the good grades.
Landry. His name is Landry. Yes. Y luego se fue con Verónica Vela.
¿Eh?
Y luego se fue con Verónica Vela.
Sí. Okay.
Bring back memories from 1972.
1972.
Next item that we have is disposition of minutes and city council meeting that we had on November the 28th of 2016. Then we had a special meeting on December the 12th of 2016. We do need to approve those minutes.
So moved, Mayor. Second.
We have motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against, motion carries. We also have to acknowledge the Mission Historical Museum that had a meeting on November the 21st of 2016. Civil Service Commission on November the 10th of 2016. Need a motion?
So move, Mayor.
Second.
Have a motion and second to approve the acknowledgement of those minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Against, motion carries.
Mayor, if we may, I'd like to see if we can move the order of the agenda to go under approvals and authorities, 4.20 for board appointments.
4.20. Okay.
Mayor, Council, the following item, item 4.20, is board appointments, and we do have some of the members that we will be appointing present, so if you're here, if you'd kindly stand when I read your name. The first board, Mayor, will be for the Building Board of Adjustments. These are reappointments, and it'll be a reappointment of Abel Beltran, Victor Mesa, and Ken Jones. Under Citizens Advisory Committee, we have Mayor's recommendation is to reappoint Mr. Carlos Lopez, Yolanda Martinez, Connie Garza, and appoint Mr. Lorenzo Garza, who I believe is here with us today for the Northwest position, Mr. John Lopez for the Northeast position. And on this board, Mayor, we still have two pending appointments, one for Southeast and one for Southwest. In Civil Service Commission, we reappointment of Mr. Ruben Femont. Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Advisory Board, reappoint Jonathan Warmeister, Robert Dominguez, Brad Benson, and appoint Mr. Gilbert Sanchez to the Fire Department position. Mission Economic Development Authority Board of Directors, reappoint S. David Deanda Jr., Catherine Garcia, Tim McVeigh, Jody Allen Tittle, and Councilman Ruben Plata, who will be the alternate member for the mayor's position. On Mission Economic Development Corporation, reappoint Linda Riquenes, Catherine Garcia, Richard Hernandez, Jody Allen Tittle, S. David Deanda Jr., Pete Jaramillo, and Councilman Ruben Plata as the alternate member for the mayor's position. Parks and Recreation Board, reappoint Tim Brown and appoint Veronica Beri Mendoza to replace Karina Garza, who resigned. Ms. Mendoza is not able to be with us today as she's out of town. On Planning and Zoning Commission, Mayor's recommendation is to reappoint Ned Sheets and appoint Mr. Jaime Gutierrez, who I believe is with us here today. On Sherry Golf Course Advisory Board, Mayor's recommendation is to reappoint Mr. Polo de Leon and appoint Mr. Mario Ramirez to replace Mr. Rudy Garcia, who also resigned. And we've got Mr. Ramirez here with us today. Spring Memorial Library Board, reappoint Cynthia Leon, Elizabeth Garza, and Sheila Valles Pankratz. On the Tax Increment Reinvestment Board, which is the TERS Board, reappoint Richard Hernandez and Leonardo Lopez. In the Traffic Safety Committee Board, reappoint Sylvia Cruz and Apolonio Cardoza, and appoint Ms. Debbie Alvarez, who is here with us today, to replace Mr. Snyders, who also resigned. Youth Advocacy Advisory Board, this is the Boys and Girls Club, reappoint Jonathan Ocaña and Dr. Sonia Trevino, and appoint Mr. Henry Rodriguez to replace Humberto Garza, who resigned, and Mr. Rodriguez is also out of town today. In Zoning Board of Adjustments, reappoint Mike Fredericks, Ned Sheets, and Kathy Olivares, and appoint Mr. Terry Mavis, who is here with us today, in the alternate position, and then we also have one alternate pending position in the Zoning Board of Adjustments. These are the board appointments, Mayor, that we're requesting approval for.
Those are the recommendations that we have, so
Move for approval, Mayor, as presented.
Second.
we have a motion and second to go ahead and approve the recommendation as read by Ms. Carrillo. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries.
Thank you.
Let's go back to 4.1.
Yes, 4.1 is the preliminary plat approval for Los Cabos subdivision Phase 3. It's a 10.56 acre tract of land, more or less, out of lots 72 and 82, John H. Sherry subdivision. The developer is Miguel Brito and Hunt Valley Industrial. The engineer is Half and Associates. On December 14, 2016, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a meeting to consider the preliminary and final plat approval for Los Cabos subdivision Phase 3. The proposed subdivision is a third phase of the existing Los Cabos subdivision located near the southwest corner of San Mateo and Glasscock Road. The board unanimously recommended approval as per staff recommendation. The staff, it is a 38 single lot family residential with two common areas. It is Phase 3. The staff recommends approval subject to meet the model subdivision rules, comply with the street alignment policy, and must pay the capital sewer recovery fee. Staff recommendation is approval.
We have, we need a motion to go ahead and approve the preliminary plat.
So move, Mayor, but I do have a question.
Go ahead.
After the second.
Second.
Yeah, are the water rights transfers plat?
Once it's recorded, yes, sir, it will transfer.
Thank you.
Is that on North Glasscock?
It's on, yes,
It's on just north of Beal Gray Junior High, just north of the intersection of Military and Glasgow.
Oh, it's on South Glasscock.
South Glasgow.
I'm sorry, yes,
It's
south.
approximately 38 acres.
It is,
38 lots.
get recorded next year.
So we have a motion by Mr. Ocaña.
That's it, right?
I need a second.
Second, Mayor.
A second to go ahead and approve the preliminary plat. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 4.2,
4.2 is a preliminary plat approval for Eduardo's number 16 subdivision, a 4.48 acre tract of land out of north of 5 acres of south 10 acres of lot 35-4, west addition to Shareland subdivision. It's on the Missions ETJ. The developer is Ingrid Astrid Izaguirre Engineering, engineer is Izaguirre Engineering Group. On December 14, 2016, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a meeting to consider the preliminary and final plat approval for Eduardo's number 16 subdivision. The proposed subdivision is located along the west side of Trosper Road, approximately half a mile north of Mile 3 Road. The board unanimously recommended approval as per staff recommendation. The staff recommendation is approval subject to must meet the model subdivision rules, comply with the street aligning policy, must pay the capital sewer recovery fee, sewer tap fee, and sewer permit fees, and comply with the requirements that are from the county planning department, which they must comply with the requirements at that time. The staff recommendation is approval of this item.
the recommendation is to approve preliminary plat. I need a motion.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
The motion and second to go ahead and approve the preliminary plat for Eduardo number 16. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 4.3,
4.3 is a preliminary plat approval for Sherryland Rockstone Manor subdivision, a 1.8161 acre tract of land being a replat of north line of lots 72 and 73 of Sherryland Orchards. It is R1. The developer is Eleazar and Norma Contreras, and the engineer is Cruz Hogan Consultants. On December 14, 2016, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a meeting to consider a preliminary plat approval for Sherryland Rockstone Manor. The proposed subdivision is located approximately 1/2 mile south of Griffin Parkway, FM 495, along the west side of Glasscock Road. The board unanimously recommended approval as per staff recommendation. This area is located on Tilly Lane between Glasscock and Luxinger. The staff recommendation is approval subject to variance 1 and 2, which is the variance 1 is the developer is requesting to have lots 95-foot debt instead of required 100-foot lot debt, and variance 2, the developer is requesting to have the street pavement of 26.5 instead of 32, which is already existing, back to back. Also the payment of the park and capital sewer recovery fees, escrow of 5-foot sidewalk street along Glasscock Road, and provide water district exclusion, comply with any and all format findings. The staff recommendation is approval of this item.
need a motion to approve the preliminary plat.
Move to approve.
We have a motion.
Is that along with the exemptions that they're asking?
The recommendation from planning and zoning, right?
That's correct, sir. There's 2 variances that are being proposed.
Yes.
That way, they can be able to accommodate the R1, and that would be to consider 95-foot depth in the lot instead of the 100.
Yes, so they did 70 feet by 95, which exceeds the minimum requirement, so that's the exemption that they did.
I'm okay with that one, but what about the pavement back-to-back?
It's an existing street right now with curb and gutter already,
At
and so that was, it was paved prior to.
So it's already existing
Yes, ma'am.
at the 27 feet?
Yes.
All right, I just wanted to make that clarification.
Where are you going to adjust? You said on the lots for the variance, there's going to be 5 feet shorter than 100. Where is the adjustment going to be done? Is it going to be
It's on
done
the,
setbacks?
it's on the width, it's 70 feet instead of 60. And so instead of the minimum 60 feet that's required, they did 70 by 95 to accommodate the difference of the square footage.
Yes.
So you do have the total square feet?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all over 6,000 square feet.
Yes, it's
which is
6,650.
required.
That's
Yes.
correct.
We have a motion, I need a second.
Second.
I have a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Item 4.4.
Item 4.4 is approval of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Mission amending the Mission Code of Ordinance, Chapter 6, Alcoholic Beverage, Article 1, Section 3-6-3, hours of sale by allowing extended hours. The Mission City Council has determined that in the best interest of the City of Mission, Texas, to modify the hours of sale by allowing extended hours and authorizing the sale of alcoholic beverage pursuant to the extended hours as per Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code, Chapter 105, Section 6-3, hours of sale, was hereby amended to read as follows. Section 6-3, hours of sale. Hours of sale of alcoholic beverage shall be set same as the extended hours on Chapter 105, Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code as follows: Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday noon to 2 a.m., 10 a.m. to noon, only in conjunction with the service of food. That's state law reference, Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code 105.03-06 and 109.32. It is the intent of the City Council to encourage the economic development with the city while continuing to provide a safe community for the residents. As with all conditional use permits, appropriated conditions and safeguards may be imposed to include but not limited to requiring a uniform security guard during specified hours, events, proof of certification, background record checks of employees, and other compliance requirement as determined necessary by the City Council. Staff recommendation is the approval of this ordinance.
Ordinance 4442.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve.
Hold, Mayor.
Second.
4442, we have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
We have two.
Aye.
We have four now. We have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries.
Thank you.
Mayor, before we continue, just to give the council an update on how we're going to be doing this transition, because there are a handful of conditional use permits that vary from the previous ordinance that we had, 4320, which was only up to midnight and Saturday to 1 o'clock in the morning. What we propose to do is to have a transition where Planning Department will be sending out a letter, and the letter will be a certified letter letting them know about this new ordinance. And if you have a permit from TABC with the extended hours, then your conditional use permit will extend to those extended hours. When your expiration comes forward and you need to do the renewal, then at that moment, those businesses are going to be asked to come over here to City Council, apply for a conditional use permit through Planning and Zoning, then finally get it approved through the council. And at that moment, like this ordinance reads, the council may impose to include, but not limited to, certain requirements, and those requirements could be whether it's a security guard that we're going to ask for, whether we're going to ask for proof of certifications, background records on the people who are serving the alcohol, and so forth. So we want to do this as those permits are expiring, so we can be doing them with that type of transition rather than getting everybody one by one within the next months.
Mr. Garza.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to handle the transition, the discrepancies of the CUPs with the license as far as expiration dates? Remember we talked about?
Right, exactly. And thank you for reminding me, sir. As they come for a new application on the conditional use permit, what we want to do is be able to give them a 2 years renewal, so it coincides with a permit that goes hand in hand with TABC. That way, we only see them once every 2 years, and it's on the same date of expiration that TABC has their license for.
Thank you, sir.
¿Le entendió? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go on to item 4.5. Mr. Belmares?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I bring before you item 4.5, authorization to award contract for the construction of the City of Mission Event Center. City Council authorized staff to solicit proposals for the construction of the City of Mission Event Center and all applicable utility infrastructure. The City of Mission received proposals from D. Wilson Construction and Bullard Construction. Both contractors are found to be responsive and responsible. Staff evaluated both proposals and found D. Wilson Construction acceptable in accordance with the evaluation criteria, offering the best value taking into consideration both technical and price. Cost for the project will be in the amount of $15,239,500. Staff's recommendation is to award contract to D. Wilson Construction Company. We have Mr. Ramiro Zapata, our architect, in attendance. If you have any questions regarding the design and construction of the project.
Ramiro, do you want to you all have a design of the building?
Yes, I just passed out the
Rendering.
the tabulation and the proposed pricing. Along with that is also the small rendering of the event center, along with some of the interior photographs. That is what we're going to be looking at. But most importantly here, what we're proposing is the moving forward with the request for the proposal and accepting the proposal from D. Williams Construction. And of course, we do have Mr. Zapata here present in case there's any questions from the council. This was, we had a committee that came together and looked at the request for proposals, which the committee is present here with us as well.
So the recommendation is to go ahead and award it to Wilson Construction. So we are going to need a motion to approve.
I move to approve based on the recommendation from the committee.
Second.
We have a motion and second to go ahead and accept the recommendation of Wilson Construction. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is going to be about a 13 months, 13 meses, 13 months, Ramiro?
That's the amount of time that the contractor has given us, 390 days approximately. However, there might be a little variation in that because I know there's also a water tower project associated with that same site. So there may be a little bit of variation, but that remains to be seen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item. Ms. Carrillo.
Yes, Mayor, Council. Item 4.6 is authorization request by State Representative Sergio Munoz for the lease agreement at 121 East Tom Landry. Mayor, Council, this is the renewal of the lease agreement, which would be for 2 years, beginning on January 10th, 2017, expiring on January 8th of 2019. Cost would remain the same at $250 per month. And Mayor and Council, in your motion, if you all are inclined to approve this lease, we need to include that in your motion that a finding that such a lease is in the public interest of the City of Mission, since this is a city facility that is being leased.
Okay. We need a motion to go ahead and approve the request by State Representative Sergio Munoz.
Move to approve.
Second, Mayor, and also include the provision that Ms. Carrillo has mentioned.
What is it that you want, Ms. Carrillo?
A lease is in the public interest of the city of Mission.
We have a motion second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Item 47.
Yes, Mayor Council, this is authorization request by Congressman Henry Cuellar for district office lease agreement. This is at 117 East Tom Landry. This lease agreement is also for 2 years, and it'll expire January 2nd of 2019, also at a cost of $250 per month. And also in the motion, we would place that the lease is in the public interest of the city of Mission, since this is a city facility.
We need a motion to...
Move to approve. Second.
In the best interest of our city. to
We
lease
have a
this,
motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries.
Thank you.
4.8. What resolution?
Mr. Mayor, City Council, the Mission Police Department is requesting approval of a resolution for the purpose of submitting an agreement for the temporary closure of state right-of-way to the Texas Department of Transportation for the Texas Citrus Fiesta Parade. The agreement is required by the Texas Department of Transportation for the closure of State Highway 107, Conway Avenue, between the 2.5-mile line and Expressway 83, the 1 and 200 block of West Tom Landry, and the 1 and 200 block of West Business 83. Our organization, along with other city departments, will be responsible for securing the parade route to ensure the safety of both motorists and pedestrians alike. Again, the request is to send off for the closure of Conway for the Texas Citrus Fiesta Parade.
What's the resolution?
1483.
I move for approval.
Second.
The motion is second to go ahead and approve resolution 1483. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 4.9. Gutierrez?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Item 4.9, authorization to enter into a repair contract agreement with Hio, Texas via by board contract 515-16. Sanitation Department is requesting authorization to enter a repair contract agreement with Hiola, Texas by board contract 515-16. Repairs will include service rates and parts for side loaders and brush trucks. Contract will be from December 27, 16 to September 30th, 2017. This item is not before you.
Do we need a motion to approve the authorization?
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and second to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Against, motion carries. 410, Mr.
Thank you.
Guzman.
Good afternoon, Council. On item 4.10 is attached for your review and approval as summary of the utility account receivables to be reclassified at this time for the amount of $29,130. These amounts are for 3 months, period, which is July, August, and September 2015.
Need a motion to go ahead and...
So move, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and second to go ahead and approve the reclassified the utility account for the third quarter of 2015. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Guzman.
Council.
411.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council members. Item 4.11 is the authorization to solicit bids for the purchase of cold water meters for the Public Works Department. Meters are needed by the Public Works Department to replace non-functioning meters and for new developments. The contract terms will be for 1 year with 2 one-year renewal option. Again, staff recommendation is to solicit for bids.
How much money are you talking about?
We're talking about 60,000, estimated cost of 60,000 per year.
Bless you.
That we use.
60,000?
60,000, yes. And this is just a solicitation for bids.
For 1 year?
For 1 year, yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Need a motion to go ahead and authorize the solicited bids?
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 412.
Yes, sir, Mayor, City Council members, item 4.12 is the authorization to solicit bids for the purchase of Meter Connect supplies for the Public Works Department. Again, Meter Connect supplies are needed by the Public Works Department for new water meter connections and repairs. The contract terms will be for 1 year with 2 one-year renewal option. The total estimated yearly cost will be of $30,000. Again, staff recommendation is authorization to solicit for bids.
Need a motion to go ahead and authorize the solicitation.
I move for approval.
Second.
A motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yes, motion carries. 413,
Yes, sir, Mayor, City Council members, item 4.13 is the authorization to solicit bids for the purchase of waterline maintenance supplies for the Public Works Department. Waterline maintenance supplies are needed by the Public Works Department for the water distribution system daily maintenance operations. The total estimated yearly cost is $120,000. Staff recommendation is authorization to solicit for bids.
need a motion to go ahead and authorize the solicitation.
Move to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Have a motion?
Second?
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yes, motion carries. 414,
Yes, sir, Mayor, City Council members, item 4.14 is the approval to purchase Microsolve and Otosolve for the sanitary sewer lift stations and wastewater treatment plant from a sole source vendor. The staff's recommending to purchase Microsolve and Otosolve from Evergreen Southwest, a sole source vendor. Chemicals will be used by the Public Works Department for the sanitary sewer lift stations throughout the city, including the wastewater treatment plant main lift station. We have attached the sole source letter from the manufacturer, Biotech Industries, granting the rights for distribution by Evergreen Southwest to sell and market the products. The total cost of the Microsolve is $56,352 per year, and the cost of Otosolve will be of $22,020 per year, with an overall amount of $78,372 per year for the use of these chemicals throughout the city of Mission on the lift stations and the wastewater treatment plant. Staff recommendation is to purchase Microsolve and Otosolve from a sole source vendor.
we need a motion to go ahead and approve the purchase.
Move to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Salinas,
Yes, sir.
the odor solve, is that what you need to solve the problem in Meadow Creek that they discussed in the public hearing about the odor,
We can,
the lift station?
we can certainly apply the chemical. Right now, we have 9 units distributed throughout the city of Mission at the main lift stations that causes or have caused odor problems. We can certainly this year include an additional unit for there's two lift stations at Mission West or Seven Oaks or Meadow Creek. And I know they've been calling, we've been attending to them. We have been cleaning lines, doing maintenance, but of course we can use this, the Otosolve and Microsolve to help alleviate the odor issues that they have.
Let me tell you what you need to do.
Yes, sir.
Buy enough to take care of the problem.
Okay,
Don't say you're going to have 9 or 10. Buy enough to take care of the problem.
okay,
Any lift station that you might have, you need to take care of it.
okay,
Because that's the second time they tell us that and embarrass us in front of everybody.
okay.
And I had already told you about Meadow Creeks. So this is, I want somebody to write it down or something, that if you need to buy $100,000 a month to take care of it, do it.
Okay.
But I don't want to hear this problem anymore, because we have the money to buy them, unless you don't have any money in your budget.
No, we do have the money.
Bueno,
Mayor.
why don't you spend it?
So, and then the authorization will be to add the 2 lift stations at Mission West.
Mira, whatever you need,
Okay,
you spend. Don't be saving money for us and let the city be a smelly city.
If
We'll
you
do
need
that,
a
Mayor.
motion,
No, I don't
Mayor,
want that to happen. I mean,
sure.
this is terrible. And nobody else to blame but you, because you're the head Sancho over there, and
Yes.
you're the one that buys and sells and takes care of the problem. So
Okay,
if you can't tell your employees, go take care of it, then I can go and tell them for you.
yes, sir. No, I'll take full
Okay.
responsibility.
¿Eres
Mayor.
Salinas, hombre?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
legal, can we amend it to add the other 2 to the,
The item is only for the authorization to...
But he has enough to do it.
purchase, right.
He has enough there at
back.
the station, but what he needs to do, come back in the next meeting if you need more,
Right.
or if you need money, you come and ask for money.
Okay,
But don't let those lift stations smell.
yes, sir.
Because did you hear the guy, the way he was, he was talking about you, because you're in charge,
Yes, sir.
but he was blaming me. And that's not fair. Because you make about, how much money, well, I'm not going to ask you how much money you make. but next time I'm going to.
Okay.
If there's anything else that we need to bring to council, Mayor, for the next one, we'll go ahead and do that. I'll
Okay,
get
please.
with,
Yes.
together with Mr. Salinas here.
Yes.
Okay. Did we vote on it?
I don't think so, Mayor.
No, sir.
You have a motion and a second on the floor.
Yes, go ahead, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 415,
Yes, sir, Mayor, City Council members, item 4.15 is the approval to purchase equipment for the waste water treatment plant and industrial pre-treatment plant from a sole source vendor. Staff's recommending the purchase of one model A40-C FG EcoJet aerator complete and one 40 horsepower EcoJet motor with a propeller model 940-C from Aerator Solutions, a sole source vendor. Again, the aerator and motor will be used at the aeration basins for the industrial pretreatment plant to replace non-functional aerator and motor installed in 2005 and purchased from the same vendor. Attached is a sole source letter from vendor, Aerator Solutions, and description of equipment. The total amount of this purchase will be of $28,611. And again, staff recommendation is authorization to purchase aerator equipment and a motor from Aerator Solutions, a sole source vendor.
you're on, we need a motion to go ahead and approve.
Move to approve, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
A motion and second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 416,
Yes, sir, Mayor, City Council members, item 4.16 is the approval of change order number 1 for the Benson Palm Lift Station construction. Change order number 1 entails the construction of approximately 1,129 linear feet of 12-inch gravity sanitary sewer line extending north on Military Road along Schubeck Road with additional sanitary sewer manholes. The change order will increase construction costs by $237,784.85, increasing original bid amount of $997,427 with 73 cents to $1,235,212.58. Change order is under the 25% limit at 23.84% from the original contract cost set by Texas governmental code. Change order has been approved by Terrace Board and will be reimbursed to the City of Mission. And the construction contractor is Morewell LLC. Again, staff recommendation is approval of change order number 1 for this project.
need a motion to go ahead and approve.
Move to approve.
Change order number 1.
Second.
We have motion and second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bella, you got 1, 2, and 3.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Item 4.17 is for the acceptance of the monthly tax report for the month of October 2016. The 2016 total adjusted tax levy was $20,127,693.48, and the amount of collections as of October 31st, 2016 is $140,261.67, which represents 0.70% of the total tax levy. This item is now before you.
Move for approval.
Second, Mayor.
We have motion and second to go ahead and approve the tax collection report. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Item 418.
Item 418 is for the approval of the October 2016 financial statements. The unadjusted total beginning fund balance for all funds was $45,868,530. Total revenues for the period were $1,300,567, and total expenditures were $7,064,360, leaving an ending unadjusted fund balance of $40,104,737. Total assets for the period are $158,632,938. Total liabilities are $58,264,251, resulting in total net assets of $100,368,687. This item is now before you.
We need a motion to go ahead and approve the October financial statement.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have motion and second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. 419.
Item 419 is the approval of the attached budget amendments. We have 4 budget amendments. The first is in the utility fund, an amendment in the amount of $237,785 in revenues and appropriations to allocate the funds for the Benson Palm Lift Station project change order number 1. This project is being reimbursed by TERS, and the change order was approved by their board on October 25th, 2016. Second, we have an amendment in the CDBG fund for $328,842 in revenues and expenditures to allocate reserve funds from the 2015 block grant for CDBG at year end. These remaining revenues and expenditures need to be carried over to the current year to complete housing rehabilitation and reconstruction projects. Next is the Police Department Sharing Fund. $204,020 is to be budgeted as current year state sharing expenditures. These funds are forfeited contraband received from the state's attorney and governed by the Texas Code of Criminal Procedures. Funds are to be used for law enforcement purposes. And finally, we have the Police Department Federal Sharing. $743,064 is to be budgeted as current year federal sharing expenditures. These funds are equitable shared forfeited cash, property proceeds, and interest received from the federal government and governed by the Department of Justice and the Department of the Treasury equitable sharing programs. Funds are to be used for law enforcement purposes. This item is now before you.
We need a motion to go ahead and approve all these budget amendments.
Move to approve, Mayor.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
420, we already did that. You have any comments?
Yes, Mayor, just to let the public know, we do have our City of Mission Police Department Crime Stoppers toy drive this Wednesday, the 21st. This will be at 1 o'clock, right across the street in front of the police department. We're going to be serving, I believe, over how many families, Chief? Over 350 families. That means we give approximately about 1,200 toys last year for kids. 2,600. And so we have done this for the past, I believe, 16, 17 years. We're going to continue the tradition. And so we're inviting the council and the rest of the public to be there. Also, I'd just like to make a comment, and, you know, Ernie Zapata was the gentleman that was earlier recognized by one of our citizens in citizens participation. So I just want to, I don't know if Ernie's still here, but I want to thank Ernie and his department head for showing initiative and compassion towards our citizens. So make sure, Mr. Barrera, you tell him that we thank him for that as well. That's it, Mayor.
Okay. If some, Chief, on the stop signs, on the four-way stops, in the neighborhoods, when you have a four-way stop, please note that it's a four-way stop. I've been checking them, and some of them don't have a four-way stop. So se pasan todos. You know, the stop sign is supposed to say four-way stop.
Underneath.
Well, bottom or up, but none of them have it. So I don't know, maybe you can tell the city crews or somebody to change them or put something on them, or put a sign before you get to the four-way stop that there is a four-way stop there, but the sign has to say something, because they're not stopping. This sign has stop, four-way stop. Okay, thank you. We go on to executive session. I think we have for an item.
Mayor, I move that we go into executive session pursuant to VTCA Government Code Section 551.001, Mayor.
We have
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. We go into executive session.
Aye.
Nobody voted.
Aye.
Mayor, I move that we reconvene from executive session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go ahead and reconvene. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those, motion carries. We have
Yes, Mayor, if the council is inclined to take action on item 7.1A, we would need a motion making a finding that the following properties pose a substantial danger of injury and/or adverse health impact to the people and surrounding buildings, and therefore the city council authorizes the city attorney to pursue legal action pursuant to Chapter 54 in order to protect the public health and safety regarding the following real properties. Property number 1, with legal description Green Lawn Terrace, Lot 26, Block 3. Property number 2, legal description Freeway number 6, Lot 22, Unit 6. Property number 3, with legal description Mission Original Townsite, Lot 3, Block 115. And property number 4, with legal description West Addition to Sherryland, South 50 feet, East 90 feet, approximately 4.09 acres of Lot 24-10.
I so move, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to go ahead and authorize the city to go ahead and file in district court?
That's correct, sir. Any legal requirements that we need to follow through the district court to make sure that we move forward on the dilapidated structures and that the council recognize these as dilapidated structures.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. I need a motion to...
So move, Mayor.
to,
Second.
Recess. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.